what are some ways that we can learn to embrace change rather than fear it? Like, what can you share with us around this notion of change and pushing through?
Obviously, change is the one thing that doesn't change.
That's right.
When you read in the Stoics, they talk a lot about change. Marcus Aurelius points out that everything good in your life came from change, including your life itself. You didn't exist and then you existed.
Right.
And so we fear change as if all the things that we don't want to change didn't come from somewhere, right? You're like, people are afraid of losing things, and it's like, yeah, but you lost something to get this thing in the first place. You started here from at this job, which meant changing whatever you were doing beforehand. And so I think first and foremost, just accepting the inevitability of change and the pervasiveness of change, that everything in life comes from change. Obviously, you want to make something that lasts, you want to make something that endures. It's just worth remembering too that the things that have lasted and endured didn't do so by remaining unchanged. I talked a lot, and I wrote this book about discipline, and I think when people think about discipline, they tend to think of sort of physical discipline, and I wanted to talk about sort of emotional discipline, and I talked a lot about Queen Elizabeth II, who's just one of the most fascinating people of our time. And what I found so fascinating about her is you think that, the Queen of England is about tradition, about convention, about not changing. I mean, she's from a dynasty hundreds and hundreds of years old, and her job is to sort of preserve all these antiquated sort of rituals and ideas, and maybe even the whole institution sounds antiquated to people. The motto of her household in that time, obviously her commitment is to preserve the monarchy. Her motto, which she takes from this Italian novelist whose name escapes me, it was, if things are going to stay the same, then things are going to have to change. And the paradox of, hey, we want this company to endure, we want this business to endure, we want this team to maintain itself, well, it's going to have to change a lot for that to be able to happen. People are going to come on and off the team, locations are going to change, business practices are going to change, people are going to get older, technology is going to come in, technology is going to come out, right? And accepting that, okay, there are things that we don't change, and then there are things that are not important, and so we change them all the time, right? So this idea of like, hey, we're trying to be here for the long haul, we don't want that to change, but everything else is negotiable, I think is a way to think about it.